Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and I'm here today to give you a review of this really funky piece I have on my head right now. Now, of course, before I talk about this really cool wig, I'm going to remind you to like this video and subscribe to my channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. Don't mind my background right now. It's the holidays. I'm actually at my family childhood home right now and I'm not filming in my usual location. So my my rooms are a bit odd at the moment, but hopefully you don't mind that. Okay, what is this really cool piece on my head right now, you ask? Well, if you haven't read any of the description yet, then you will find out that this is Kai by Rene of Paris in the color Melted Ocean. Now, in this situation, the color is definitely the star of the show. So let's just talk about that first before we dive into the actual wig. Now, like I said, this is Melted Ocean, and this is a beautiful gradient ombre effect here. So it starts with some dark, almost navy roots here, gradually goes into this really beautiful sky blue, and we finish off with some white tips. It's just a really beautiful, gradual, subtle ombre effect that is so unique. Now, I know, not everyone is going to be okay with having hair this color. It's, you know, it's a little different, right? So if you're not into this color, but you're kind of into this style, don't you worry, because Kai comes in about 18 different color options, so you have a lot to choose from. Okay, let's go over this wig here. So we have some synthetic fibers that are really soft. I really like Rene of Paris's synthetic fibers. They tend to be very durable, very soft and fluffy. So keep in mind, this is just synthetic. This is not heat-friendly synthetic, so you cannot use any heating tools to style this. If you wanted to style this in any way, you'd have to use something like steam. We do have about a medium to light density here. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's light, but it's not even that medium either. It's very much in between, and we do have just a little bit of permatease. It's not a lot. There's just a little bit at the crown here. But throughout the rest of the wig, there's such a fine layer that it's almost not even noticeable. So a little bit at the crown, a fine layer throughout the sides, and then you will have a little bit on the top here to give you a little bit of extra volume there. This is a really sleek and straight, funky, chic bob we have going on here. It is a bit shorter in the back and longer in the front. So we do have an A-line bob. And I also noticed that when it's parted on this left side here, it's kind of longer on the right side. I don't know if you can tell that, but it can be a little bit asymmetrical. But let me turn around so we can see the whole style. There's also not a ton of layering in this. So if I pull these pieces out, we can kind of see the shortest pieces you'll find. So here's probably the shortest one you'll find. So overall, the layering isn't that much. They do have just a touch to help give it this shape that we have, so that it's not just like stick straight. It does have a little bit of roundness to it. And we also have some nice feathery textured ends. It's not just like a blunt cut. They are quite textured. I find this fits very true to average. I am personally a petite size. I measure 20.5 inches in circumference, 11.5 front to nape, and 11.5 ear to ear. This fits just a little bit big on me. It's not too big on me. I could personally get away with wearing this if I just pulled the adjusters in a little bit, and there's not too much bulk in the cap, but overall this typically fits around an average size. Okay, now this cap does have a temple-to-temple lace front. Now, of course, this wig in particular, or this color in particular, has the dark roots. And whenever you have dark roots, you can see those knots a little bit more easily. Hopefully you can see this on me. I'm trying to get it to focus a bit more. But here's the knotting. I wouldn't say it's the best lace front that I've ever tried before, but it's not horrible. I would imagine with a lighter colored color, your knotting would not be as evident. And they do have quite a nice monofilament part here. Let me make sure that parting is nice and open and visible so you can get a good look at it. Okay, so this is a left monofilament part, which means that there's about an inch section here that you can play around with parting space. Now, when it is a left monofilament part, of course you can part to the left. You cannot part to the right because it's not going to give you that natural illusion of scalp beyond your lace front. It's just going to be all permateasy and wefty, and it's just not going to look natural. However, there's a little bit of a hack to get it to go to a center part. So because it is about an inch of space here, all you would need to do is part it as close as you can to the inside of your, where the wefts start. And then if you just adjust the ear tabs a touch, suddenly, look, you have a center part. So there is a little bit of a hack you can do on these left monofilament part wigs. Okay, notice how since I parted it in the center, it's being a bit funny. So that's just something to note about synthetics. They're not gonna go where you want them to go right away. You have to train them, and the best way to train them is with a little bit of heat. Often just heat from your hands to get the friction, get your hands all warm, press into it right at the roots to help lay it where you want it to. Or you could use steam, like I mentioned earlier. So steam, like a fabric steamer, is okay to use on these synthetic pieces. And all you need to do is kind of overtrain the hair to where you want it to go, clip it in place, and steam at the root. And that's just gonna help guide it and set it in that position. Okay, I'm gonna get it back to its rightful place, the left part here. Just wanted to show you that there are options with these left monofilament parts. There we go. Okay, let me take this off so we can just take a quick peek at the inside of the cap here. So like I mentioned, we do have that temple to temple lace front. So you're able to pull it off your face. It gives you the illusion of growth from your hairline. However, I mean, like I mentioned, you can see the knots a little bit on this particular color. So whenever I pull it off my face, I tend to leave some fibers in the front just to disguise that hairline a little bit. We also have a left monofilament part. Just know it doesn't extend all the way back to the crown. It goes about 2/3 of the way. And then the rest of your cap is just an open wefted cap, which is great for breathability and ventilation, and they're typically nice and stretchy. We also have some velvet ear tabs, which adds to the comfort level of it. And we do have a velvet nape. So it's not an extended nape, it's just a standard velvet nape with some pull adjusters to adjust your circumference. So typically when you get a wig, there isn't a lot of room to make it bigger, but you can make it smaller usually by pulling the adjusters or whatever type of adjusters they are. So for me, like I mentioned, since I am a petite size in my circumference, I would pull these in a little bit and it would just help make it feel a little bit more secure. I think Kai would be a really nice everyday option. It's so easy to put on, just adjust it, and she's good to go. And the other reason why this would be a really great everyday option is because it's short. And when you have shorter synthetics, they're not going to tangle as easily. They are not going to rub on your clothing as easily. So you're not going to get as much friction on the ends, which means the ends are not going to get all frizzy and frazzly as quickly as they may on the longer pieces. And because it's not going to tangle as much, you're not going to need to brush it as much. And when you don't brush it as much, again, it's not going to become as frizzly and frazzly. So there are definitely benefits to having shorter synthetic pieces. They also tend to last you a little bit longer than the long synthetics. And besides, this is just a really cool, sophisticated, chic style that would be really great for a simple everyday wear. It's something that you could tuck behind your ears on both sides. You could definitely pin some back. And like I said, I always leave a little bit forward just to help disguise that hairline a bit. This isn't really one you could fit into a ponytail very well. But you could give this a little bit of a half up, half down, which would be super cute. Just kind of pin it in place, bring a few pieces forward, and you have a little style there. I think that's about all I have to tell you about Kai by Rene of Paris. If you have any more questions about her, please feel free to ask them below, and I'm happy to help you out if I can. If this is something that you're interested in, then make sure you go visit us at our website at chiquel.com, chiquel.ca if you're in Canada, or chiquel.com.au if you're in Australia. But for now, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.